Hello, everyone. I just thought I'd give you a update on what's been happening. On the 21st of December, as you would have seen, I had an accident. I had a work do. We'd had, a few beers, and then I went back to a workmate's place afterwards for some more beers. And I made the stupid decision of trying to walk home while he lives on sort of the other side of town to me. I got around about halfway home. I was walking quite fast at the time because I wanted to get home. It was starting to get late and it was cold. And I tripped on something and fell hard on the pavement and broke my arm. After maybe about 2 minutes of gathering myself, I knew I wasn't going to be able to walk it off. The pain was pretty much instant. I knew immediately that I'd done something quite bad. Luckily, the A&E was only a 15-minute walk back up the hill that I'd just come down. So I walked back up the hill, checked myself in, and spent the whole night there, as I expected that I would. I knew that I was not going to get home until the following morning. I wasn't happy with the treatment that I got originally. They misdiagnosed me. They said I only had a small fracture. Just basically put a sling on me. Slung me out the door with no painkillers. They said just go and buy some over-the-counter medication, paracetamol, ibuprofen. If it's any worse, cocodamol. So I did. That did fuck all as expected. And it got to Christmas Day when we got a call to say that actually it looks a bit more severe than that. Could you come in for another CT scan? So I did that on Boxing Day. And it was determined very quickly that it was worse. It was worse than originally expected. I had a radial head fracture, and it was a pretty bad one. Basically, the bone itself at the joint of my elbow, I'd broken that into maybe 3-4 pieces. So that was going to need surgery, no question. It was going to need screwing back together. 2 days later, I had the surgery. That was a success, which is good. I even got back in time for the football, so had a good time there. The next 2 days afterwards were the worst pain I've ever felt in my entire life. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. It was pure agony. And I was just miserable. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything. I was constantly in agony. I was drugged up to the eyeballs on painkillers just to make it bearable. And about probably 4 days later, it started to get better. Now it's been a week since the surgery, and the pain has died down majorly. It's been reduced for most of the time to just no more than a dull ache, which is good. I'm starting to, do a bit more range of movement stuff with my shoulder and my hand to keep those moving. I can also lift my arm slightly, and I can spend a bit of time out of the sling. Not too much, because I can tell that in my elbow the strength is completely gone, and I know I'm going to need physio to do that. I've got an appointment in about a week's time to essentially assess how the recovery's going so far. They'll change my bandages and then start talking to me about getting me into physio and starting to get my strength back up. So that's going to be fun. In terms of my recovery, officially, I'm signed off from my day job for 6 weeks. But they have said to me, that's basically, once you get back, I'm still not going to be at full strength for another few weeks after that. I won't be completely symptom-free and completely pain-free probably until March. I will still be experiencing some stiffness and some aching and maybe some pain all the way up until then. So it's going to be a long recovery process. I hope to be back with the band by sort of hopefully February. I want to be back with February, but if I'm not, then it is what it is. It'll probably be March. And I'm hoping that I'll be back at full strength, and I'm hoping the physio will sort it out. I'm hoping that I get full range of movement back. But But yeah, anyway, that's all I wanted to sort of touch on. I just wanted to provide you guys with an update, sort of, and I guess a rundown of what actually happened and what the next step is, what the future holds. And while it's going to be difficult, I'm still optimistic that I will be back sooner rather than later. Luckily, the band's still got plenty of stuff to be getting on with. We've still got the Christ Subverted EP to do. I know that Toby's going to be doing the guitars for that some point very, very soon, and then the rest of the tracking will follow very soon after. So we've got that going. After we've cleared that, I know that Rage's got a shitload of ideas and sort of bits and pieces for the next album, and he's going to start putting those together when he's sort of, I guess, when we've cleared that backlog and he's feeling a bit more up to it. So we'll start the writing process properly for that, and we hope to be gigging again, certainly by the time... I know that we've had to pull out of Impious Spirit Festival, but we're hoping sort of maybe about a month after that we can get back to performing, getting back to rehearsing, and coming back stronger. We've got a much heavier set coming. We've got much heavier songs in the works in terms of the next album. The direction we're going in is definitely harder. And yeah, we're coming back. It's not going to be a completely new sound, but the stuff that we've got, I am extremely excited about. We've got much more of an extreme influence on this, and it's going to be good. I'm very much looking forward to what the rest of this year holds. It's not started off the best, to say the least, but it's going to be fun once we get this shit out of the way and start working again. Hopefully, we get a load more gigging opportunities. After